Hello everyone, this is Francis. I'm happy that the phone is working right now. I'm not on my laptop. Tonight I want to talk about what music can teach you about success. I'm gonna make a disclaimer, I'm not a musician, although my family, my four uncles, they were all into music. My dad was even playing drum in the basement when I was young. So all I'm saying is I think I understand the concept of music. The reason why I'm talking about music tonight is because this morning I was watching a YouTube video by Dr. Dyer. And he said something that I thought was pretty profound. It's simple, and I'll read you what he said, because I took a note. So what he said is that what makes the music is the silence between the notes. What makes the music is the silence between the note. Think about it. Like, I mean, if there's a music and you have one note and it's like, doo, that would be really bad, right? At least in the music, you've got the doo, 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 doo. I told you I'm not a musician, right? But the point is that there's always a rhythm. When you're playing drum, you're like, so that there's always a gap. There's a gap of silence between the notes. So why am I talking about all this? Because for me, silence means silence, and it means presence. It means slowing down. And this is so important for creating the music of our life. It's so important to create the success of our life. We need the silence. We need to slow down. Last week, I think it was on Thursday, I just had a coaching call in a coffee shop with a client, a potential client. It's 6:30 a.m. And I still woke up very early, around 5:30, I think, to make sure that I would meditate. Why did I meditate? Because I wanted to have a silent mind. I really wanted to have my full dedicated attention to deeply listen to the conversation. That's very important. I'm in his world. I'm not in my mind. And how often you and I are going somewhere, we're with our friends, and we're not fully present. You know, we have our phone, we're thinking about this, we're thinking about the next thing we're gonna do or what happened before. You know, if you're in sales, you know, you show up to your clients, you have some expectations, you're like, this is what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna ask all those questions, and my goal is to receive this at the end or serve him in this way. I mean, it's all thoughts that is in our mind that clutters everything. And the key is to make sure we have silence. To be able to deeply listen, we gotta be present. And the only way to be present is to put all of that crap aside and be fully dedicated to the person we're with. And that's how you can create a beautiful melody. That's how you can create the music. That's how you create the music of the connection. That's how you can create the music of a new client, the music of a partnership, of a relationship. And what happened after that is that the potential client just emailed me the day after. He said, you know what, I was very impressed. And I had no agenda. Actually, when we started, he wanted to talk about business. So I could have put my mind on, we're just going to talk about business. I knew he wanted to talk about business, but the reality is I wanted to be really fully open, have the silence between the notes. And at the end of the call, what we ended up talking about the longest, I think, was relationships. Because that's what unfolded that day. That was the most important thing to talk about. And I gave him my example. I was fully present. I related. I was reading between the lines. Reading between the line is when there's, you know, the words, but there's also something else going on. You pay attention to their facial expression, to their body movement, to the silence. Like, imagine if you ask a question, the person doesn't answer right away. See how uncomfortable it could be, but you know, the reality is that it's hard. We're so used to have all that mind working on, and we don't really pay attention to what's going on. And I think that people will truly have a huge edge by having more silence in their life, by having the silence between the notes so that they create that music. I mean, it's not a coincidence that this month, I mean, I grabbed the magazine the Time magazine special edition. I think it's 20 pages on mindfulness. I mean, if you don't believe that mindfulness is good for you, I mean, this is just good for your body, your immune system, for your stress level, for antidepressant. That's mindfulness. And then there's it made me think of another book. It's called Stealing Fire. I talked about it before. And it's how Silicon Valley, the Navy SEALs, very performant people, right? And maverick scientists are revolutionizing, sorry my French, the way we live at work. And on page 36, they were talking about how people can solve complex problems. You know, you want to be creative. If I just say it's going to help you having this silence and being mindful and meditating, you're just going to be able to make better, you're creative. And people are like, creativity. Creativity is very useful when you need to solve complex problems, when you need to be in your client's world in order to know exactly what's going on, in order to maybe connect the dots with things that you didn't even think about, maybe connecting your client with another person that can help, truly serve, connecting in a very different way with a friend because, all of a sudden you're really listening. You're not thinking about, I've got to go to the grocery store after and I got to do this and do that. So hopefully you understand the power of the silence between the notes to create the music of your success. And for me, it tremendously helped me so many times. When I slowed down, I went to somewhere, a trip. During that trip, when I was slowing down, I had creative ideas. I had new ideas for my business. So no wonder why, I truly believe and I see that the people that are very successful, they take the time to slow down. They take the time to quiet their minds and be fully present. So hopefully that's going to help you for your business, for your relationship, for connecting. I challenge you. Even if you're going, let's say you guys are in sales or you have something important to say, before you say it, how about you just set up some time, you go walk around the block, maybe listen to some music, take 5 breaths, just so that you're not thinking about the next thing to say, you're really present. I promise you're going to have an amazing conversation. And with great conversation, you have great connections. With great connections, you create more possibilities. With more possibilities, you can have success, you can have happiness, you can have all of it. So thank you for watching. I wish you an amazing week. Happy connections, happy silence between the notes. Let's create some music. See ya, guys.